In this video I want to give you a briefly introduction about the main terms or keywords of LINQ, what we will hear later in this course. The basic terms of data in LINQ are sequences and elements. Let's see, what do these two terms mean? A sequence is any object that implements the generic 𝗖𝗵𝗽𝗀𝗀 interface, or a queryable interface. It means, a sequence could be an array, a list, data table, database, or many other data types. The elements are the items inside a sequence. It means, a sequence consists of elements. The next keyword is query. Query is an expression that transforms sequences using query operators. It means, we have a sequence as input and we transform it to another sequence, which could have less data or modified data, or also the same data. To write a query we use query operators. Query operators are methods, which we can use to do something for the sequence, like filtering the sequence or grouping the data inside the sequence. A method has an input and output. Both input and output are sequences. Let's see the following example to understand these four keywords better. I have the following string array, which contains 5 colors. The array is the sequence and the colors are the elements. Assume I want to filter this array to get only the colors, which have at least 5 characters. To do that I have to write a query. This is the query to do that. As you see, I use the sequence with an operator, where the sequence here is the input sequence for the operator. Don't worry if you don't understand the query now. It's only an example to show you, what does each keyword mean. You will be able to understand this query and all LINQ queries better at the end of this course. The output of this query is the following sequence, which contains only the colors, which have at least 5 characters. For LINQ we have about 60 methods, which we can use to write a LINQ query. All these methods are implemented as extension methods. Extension method is nothing but an additional method. This means, we can use the method without need to modify the original class or interface. Let's summarize these keywords using an illustration. We have these 4 keywords. We have the sequence, which we want to transform. It consists of elements. To transform the sequence we write a LINQ query. To write the query we use methods. So, inside the query we use methods. We can use only one method, or also many different methods. It depends on our need, what we wanted using the query. As input for the query we use the sequence. The output of the query will be also a sequence. This is the transformed sequence. We also have other 2 keywords. These are, in-memory data, and out-of-memory data. In-memory data represents a collection of elements in memory, like an array or list. We call it also local sequence. If we use in-memory data, the query will be executed on the client, because we have the data on the client also. Out-of-memory data is the opposite of in-memory data. We call it also remote sequence. This means, that we don't have the data on the client, but on a server, like a table on SQL Server. The query for this type will be executed on the server, but it can also be executed on the client. It's better to execute the query on the server. How does it work and what does it mean? You will understand it in the next video. One last keyword we have is predicate. Predicate in general is a statement about something that is either true or false. For example, I have the variable x of type integer. It has the value 5. And I have the following predicate. Here I am checking if the variable content is greater than 3 or not. The result of this predicate is true, because 5 is greater than 3. I have another predicate here. This returns false, because 5 is not greater than 7. So, a predicate returns always true or false. We will use this keyword later in a lambda expression. So keep it in mind, what does predicate mean? These are the main terms for LINQ, what we will hear again and again later.